Hi, so today I want to show you how to do a backfill. As you can see, my client have these nails for about 3 weeks, something, and they're looking very good, both hands. There's only a couple of fingers where there's a little bit of lifting. A couple of fingers where there's a little bit of lifting, but very little around here. Middle finger here, a little bit here. So as I told you in the last video, sometimes it can be because the acrylic come too close to this area, maybe because it come and touch the skin, or maybe my prep wasn't that good, or some other times it just happened because of this area is very thin, so it doesn't take long for it to begin lifting. So that's why it's better to do a checkup, backfill, refill, whatever you call it, after 3 or 4 weeks for it to continue looking good and avoiding this lifting to become larger and larger and larger. So I'll show you what I do when I get this in some of my clients' nails. But first I'm going to start again doing the prep in the little area where there's the natural nail. Before we start with pushing the cuticles and then removing a little bit of the dead skin there is on the nail in all of them. And then we're going to remove the shine of the whole nail. We're going to remove the finish gel. This one is the one that has a little bit of lifting, but I'm still going to just remove the shine. And when I finish with the whole hands, then I will show you what I do with this little piece where it's lifting. So now I'm going to change my bead, and I'm going to use the carbide. Here, this one. You need to be very careful while using this one because it's very sharp, and if you are not how to say, like, familiar with using electric field, you can file too much and maybe make a hole. So it's very important that you practice a little bit in a plastic hand, and then you start doing it on clients. I don't know if it's that easy to see, but there's some lifting here in this area. So what I'm going to do is, with my carbide, I'm going to make a line right where the lift starts, or a little bit back before where it starts, and then I'm going to start cutting and cutting and cutting, not too deep, like deep enough that I can cut or pull off the little piece with this. So this will help me to almost cut it till the bottom, and then just bullet it with this one without hurting the natural nail and the client. And then you do it with the lowest velocity. If you don't have a electric file, then you will have to file and file and file on top of it, not on top of the nail, a natural nail, but on top of the lifting, as much as you can, and then you can help yourself with something like this very gentle, go inside and start cutting as much as you can. It's not as easy as with the electric file, but it helps also to remove the whole lifting. So I'm going to do it. I hope you can see, but now I explain what I do. So just like this, without going too deep. So as you can see, it was just very easy. I didn't need to pull or anything, just kind of like lift it and then it come. And now we remove the whole lifting. So now I'm going to go back to this bit. And as you can see, now it's ready. There's no lifting or anything. It's now ready for me to apply protein bond and then fill it up with the acrylic. I'm going to swipe it to remove all the dust and all the contaminants that might be in the nail. And then I'm going to apply protein bond, Young Nails protein bond, on top of the natural nail. And I'm going to give it 2 coats before I start filling up the little gap. So this time I'm going to use cover pink, Young Nails cover pink, and after I apply the protein bond, I'm going to take a little bit, very small one, just to fill it up the gap. And you need to be very careful not to put too much acrylic that will flow and will be all around the skin. It needs to be a little one. So let me show you. It's always good to put it here in the middle and then just push to the side. Yes. Then we're going to do the next one. My bit is a little bit bigger, but it's because, you know, we did that cut where the leaf was, so we need to be able to fill up that bigger hole. So as you can see, now I file it, and again, like in the other video, I explained it's very important that you don't feel any bump here. When you do this with your nail or with the nail pusher, it has to be no bump. If it stops for some reason, then you need to file a little bit more to avoid any lifting. And a backfill or refill or whatever you call it, I will recommend it to do it after 3-4 weeks. Between 4 or 5 weeks will be okay, unless the client thinks that it's necessary to have it before that. But minimum 3 weeks is the ideal. Of course, if your client experience a lot of lifting, then it's important that she comes as soon as the lifting starts to avoid a lot of work, and for the client to avoid any infection, fungus or something under that lifting. So it's very important that it's removed as soon as possible. Yes, and then I will post a photo. I will put a photo at the end of the video of the final result with the shiny and with the final coat, so you can see how it looks. Bye bye.